My friends, this is not a drill. The clickbait title that pulled you in is not a lie. There is a way to play the rollback version of the game Dragon Ball FighterZ on the PC client, and I'm going to show you how you do that today. Now, this is nothing new to the fighting game community. There's been some other exploits like this before. Namely in the Guilty Gear Exard Rev 2 scene, if I remember correctly, they had a rollback beta that was dropped. And then, Arc System Works put that away for a bit. They went back to go polish it, go work on it a bit. But some very savvy computer nerds, for lack of a better term off the top of my head, were able to rebuild the infrastructure, get the files, the information, whatever, right? Basically take the coding in the game that has the rollback in it and get it to be reapplied to our clients for us to use. And I'm going to show you in this video how to do that. First things first, I do want to give two very massive shout outs and credits. Credits to Ibrahim Wahid on Twitter. This is a person who came out of nowhere on December 28th to demonstrate that they were able to make this work. And they're basically kind of like the mastermind, to my understanding, of getting the rollback of the game to work once again, and that is some phenomenal stuff. There is also Komerican 37610, who made the video that I actually referred to actually get all of this set up. Do check out them, give them some support. This is my video basically telling you how to set this up. So first things first, we are going to come to Ibrahim's page. Now, the way that I would say it is that you want to go to, it's not this tweet. I'm going to find the right one. This is the one that I use it from, right? Okay, so we're going to come to this tweet itself, where there's going to be a couple of links. The first big link is going to be this GitHub link that is in the tweet. You're going to be downloading this whole file here. So basically, you're just going to click on the rollback.exe. This is an important thing because this is something that is actually going to let us access something. Maybe it's the servers. I think it is the servers or something like that, where we can actually get the netcode to talk to peer-to-peer. The other thing we're going to do, and please forgive me, the MediaFire ads are going to do what they're going to do. The other link that we're going to click is the MediaFire link. Now, if you do have a MegaFile membership, you can instead go to MegaFile, but if you don't, you're going to get like halfway through, and you're going to get like not even halfway through, or more than halfway through. You're going to get up to about maybe 5 gigabytes, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to buy our premium service? If not, you can wait 5 hours before we finish downloading your file. So fuck you, MegaFile. MediaFire for life is the takeaway that I get from it. You're going to click on here. The download started right. I've downloaded it from these couple of links. These are fairly safe. You're going to get a couple of notifications on the computer like, hey, do you want to trust this? Go ahead and go through with it. Make, just be sure, right? Maybe double check it, maybe scan it with any like sort of firewall stuff, any of like your just computer protection stuff that you have out there, antivirus, right? We're going to download these, right? And then after that, you're going to get a bunch of files. Now, let me try and pull up DBFZ rollback, right? So this is where I extracted my files too, right? So I have this little folder. You're going to see that there's basically all of the usual suspects in the files in here, right? Binaries and content, right? But there's a couple of new things in here, right? There's the DBFZ rollback file right here. There's the EAC NOP loaded file, right? Rollback fighters, right? So these are the files that we're after, but just make it easy on yourself. Extract all of these, right? You're going to copy these, right? Then you're going to go into your like Steam folder, right? So you're going to find Steam. You're going to go down to Steam Apps, Common. This is where if you don't mess with your files, it should be around here. Once you're there, you're going to find Dragon Ball FighterZ, and you're just going to cover everything, right? just select everything, and then you're just going to paste those files that you downloaded into here, right? So if I look in here, under binaries, Win64, we see that I have the red Win64 shipping. This is the base game, right? This is like the game itself. This is the delay-based version, but then we got the rollback version in here now from the files that we downloaded from our friend Ibrahim, right? You're going to boot up the game from these, so you're like double-click on these. You're going to try and boot up the game, but you're also going to have to open up this DBFZ rollback file, right? This is a command prompt right here. Now, I can't explain all of this to y'all, but I think this is some of the things that lets various information talk to the servers that we need to use for rollback, right? Which, you know, if Bandai is letting us do a little backdoor action on this, who are we to not take advantage of it? So you need to have this file open, though, otherwise this isn't going to work. But then once you do that, and you boot up this version of the game, right? If you look here, give my screen a moment to catch up, you can see in the upper left corner that I have the beta version of the game open. This is beta version 1.34. This is not the live version of the game, right? Now, if I come here and I boot up online, we're going to see that, you know, over here on this other screen, it's going to do a whole bunch of talking. It's going to have the servers do their talking. We're going to get a whole bunch of just stuff right here. As long as this is going, you know it's good. You know it's going to be working, right? It's communicating with the server. This is just a program that is letting it happen, letting it talk to the right points of contact. Someone far more informed than I am can explain what's happening here. We're just going to, as simpletons, say it's some computer magic. And now once you're in there, lo and behold, look, you can actually look around. There's quite a couple of users in here already. Like this is getting around, right? This little life hack of ours is getting around. And you say, well, see, how do I know you're just not in like the actual game itself? Well, if I come over here, right? My ranked match is disabled. I can't access ranked. I can do casual match just fine. But this is the ranked, not the ranked, but this is the rollback version of the game, and there is plenty of people coming back in here to play this version of it. In fact, actually, I did see Bueller on earlier. I wonder if I'm just accessing the servers, but I'm using the rollback netcode. That might be something a little bit interesting. But again, we saw that the version I had was beta version 1.34. So I should have access to the rollback data, the rollback netcode rather, in this version of the game. After you do that, it took me a moment to get my controller to work properly, like it wasn't syncing up. Once I came over to Steam, and then once it was like, oh yeah, no, we got Dragon Ball FighterZ running here, right? Like once it recognized that I had the proper version of it, that we did, like we loaded the layout that I needed to load out, right? So I'm gonna go back to my layout here that has 3 frames of input delay so that I can compensate for the lack of delay-based netcode, right? But after I was able to come into Steam, click on a few controller settings, my controller started to work with this version of the game. So if you get all connected up and you're like, oh no, my controller isn't working, what the hell, man? Mess around with these Steam settings right here, come to controller settings, right? And then just make sure that it's all properly loading for you there. That was the case for me. I haven't touched the game since the beta went away. But yeah, this is how you access rollback netcode for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Can you get in trouble for this? I kind of doubt it. Like, I don't think Bandai is going to go to Steam and be like, hey, Steam, you should ban these users because they, hacked this game of ours. Like, we have the official game. You can't access this game without owning the game, right? We're playing a cracked version of it. And I don't really think Bandai is going to go around hunting for players who have used this and say, you can't play in competitions or anything like that anymore. I really don't think there's going to be this much of oversight to it. So that being said, if you don't want to risk it, don't do this. Wait for the official release of Rollback. I'm probably going to get an announcement about that at the end of January after the World Finals, but I do want to include that disclaimer in here. I will say that other times that this has happened for other communities, right? Like Guilty Gear Rev 2, nothing ever came of it, right? People just played their rollback, their cracked rollback, and that was all fine. For those of you who think about Street Fighter 6 and the cracked beta that happened there, that's a little different, right? Like, there wasn't the full game available to everyone already. This is a case where we do have a game available. You can play Dragon Ball FighterZ all that you want, right? It's just you don't have the rollback netcode. We're simply doing this to access the rollback netcode. I don't think that Bandai is going to throw a fit over it, but I do want to mention that, if you're worried about that, maybe just wait for this. But for those of you who want to get a little frisky, you have it right here, my friends. Anyways, thank you all very much. Zeta Mangaka. Big shoutouts again to Ibrahim Wahid for giving us Copium.